After the show, be sure to get your Friendo Club t-shirt from the Steve and Larson merch store at TeePublic. The link is in the description. Hey friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Welcome back to Going In Raw's wrestling podcast, where we talk about all the shit you guys want to hear about. Is that what we do here? I don't know. We just talk shit about wrestling.
We just talk.
We just yap about wrestling.
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's the one subject you and I can just sit down and talk about endlessly.
I feel like we need to say we need to apologize. That is a day late.
It's a day late, but $1 more. Because we got Did you put the SmackDown results here? You look at that. We got SmackDown results here.
The stuff that mattered.
Yeah, exactly. So we got a little bit more show for you today. We had some shit going on yesterday, a little speaking engagement of ours, and but now we're here, we're doing this, and we're back. So anyways, we have a lot to talk about. The go home show to FASTLANE was.
Did you say FASTLANE?
No, was Monday. And SmackDown is kind of a go-home show of its own. Brock Lesnar showed up.
He did.
So, yeah, we're going to get into it with our... Oh, yeah, it's the...
Rock cap.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, it is. Hey, cheese man. All right, the opening segment on Raw was... Ambrose. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. I was totally fine. Raw was actually, I thought it was a decent show. I was entertained by it.
The first hour was pretty good, and then it kind of went downhill from there. It felt like a Raw in reverse.
Once Heyman came out and Reigns came out, this Roman Reigns situation is fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. Okay, so Ambrose comes out. Stephanie comes out. She says and he says, I want
Yeah,
Brock.
He calls out Brock.
I want Brock. And she says, Brock ain't here. But if you want an F5, I got one for you. The Fatal 5-Way. Intercontinental Championship match to start off Raw. I like that.
It was great.
I thought it was a really fun match. Mm-hmm. Tyler, let me ask you something.
Okay.
Because I know the answer to this. If Titus O'Neal hadn't been suspended, he'd have been in that match.
Probably.
Either in Tyler Breeze's spot, because he was beating Tyler Breeze every single week before he got suspended, or possibly in Stardust's spot.
Yeah.
One of those spots he would have lost. But, and we'll get to his suspension. Is that in your show notes a little bit later? Okay, that's in our show notes a little bit later. We're going to talk about the Titus O'Neal suspension, the situation.
Yeah.
In a bit. It was a really cool match. And let me ask you this. Did you get the inkling going into it that we'd have a new Intercontinental Champion?
No.
I kind of did.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess I did because I had read that it happened before I watched it. So I guess, yeah.
Everything has pointed to Ambrose taking the Austin route to the main event, dropping the Intercontinental Championship in a way that doesn't make him look bad.
Yeah.
But he loses cleanly.
Yeah. But it doesn't take the pinfall.
You got Kevin Owens set up to have something at stake for WrestleMania. Him and Dolph have been going at it for quite a bit, and so that needed something.
It needed stakes.
And not this kind that Kevin Owens obviously likes.
Well, I like steak too.
Like the New York steak. I know, but he probably packs a lot more than you do.
I don't know. I can eat a lot of steak.
And then Ambrose lost. That gives Ambrose even more motivation.
Yeah.
To now to want another belt.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the main event scene right now. Let's talk about
Before we started, I brought this up to you that I'm really interested to see what happens during the main event of FASTLANE because I have no idea what's going to happen, but I don't know if that's because they don't know what they're doing or it's actually been booked really well. I don't know.
That's the funny thing about every single pay-per-view these days.
But this one just seems to be turned up to 11. It's amplified so much more.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously pushing Dean to the forefront. And at the end of SmackDown, it was a stare down between Brock and Triple H.
Okay.
And Reigns is the third wheel.
Yeah.
He's just kind of there.
This is why I like your assertion that it's going to be a triple threat at WrestleMania. Because it's been this way for a while. Still to this day, there is nothing for Ambrose to do if Reigns wins at Fastlane, and there's really nothing for Reigns to do if Ambrose. If Ambrose.
Well, I'd have thought about that too. That if the two people who lose the main event at Fastlane would have a feud leading into WrestleMania. So if Brock wins, faces Triple H at WrestleMania, then it would be Reigns Ambrose.
Okay.
Or if Reigns wins, it'd be Ambrose Lesnar. If Ambrose wins, it'd be Reigns Lesnar, something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like if Lesnar goes to the main event at WrestleMania, wins, then we just have a champ that's not there again.
Yeah.
I don't see Lesnar winning the belt at WrestleMania. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
Reigns winning is gonna get shit on.
Yeah.
Ambrose winning would get a huge pop, but it doesn't seem like WWE in the past few months, except for the last few weeks.
Except for the past month.
Yeah, that was their plan.
It makes me wonder: is the Intercontinental Champion is his title run? Was that a test market?
I don't know if that was, but I think the last 2-3 weeks where they've really put him as the focus of the storyline, I think that was the trial run to see how people would react to him.
And people
he had a huge pop opening Raw. Huge.
And everybody wanted him to drop that dirty deeds on Roman Reigns.
And they did the fist bump afterwards.
People booed. Yeah.
Booed.
They want him so bad to just screw over Reigns.
And they teased that some more on SmackDown where Reigns was trying to spear Lesnar apparently. This is all off, honestly, we haven't watched SmackDown yet. This is all off dirt sheets. Reigns was going to spear Lesnar. Lesnar got out of the way. Ambrose ate the spear. And then Ambrose was trying to dirty deeds Reigns. Reigns reversed it. And so SmackDown ended with both of them, I think, laid up. And then Lesnar staring down Triple H.
Okay, so let's play out the scenarios at Fastlane.
Do you want to go?
We'll do our result. No, yeah, that's right. We'll do our results in a bit. Let's go through the rest of Raw really quick.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So Kevin Owens wins. He cuts a promo. No, Renee Young.
Yeah, the backstage thing.
Is backstage with.
Starts out with Ambrose.
With Ambrose, he gives his little speech about now I'm fired up for the main event. He leaves. They cut back to her, and Kevin Owens is asking her for some respect.
Yeah.
And the look on her face was exactly the Jake Gyllenhaal look from that GIF you always send out. From Source Code. She was sort of stalling until Dolph Ziggler comes with a stupid slow clap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, he still really can't talk that well. Like, nothing flows out of his mouth.
I know.
He's so stilted. Is there any chance Dolph wins the Intercontinental title? There can't be.
No.
He's so stuck.
They need to do something with him that's not what they're doing now.
I know. Let's see here. The New Day. What did the New Day do?
Big E had a match against Mark Henry.
Oh yeah,
they did a really good promo beforehand.
They did a funny promo.
Yeah,
they were funny.
But I don't know what's next for him. The tag situation, the tag division is all sorts of messed up right now.
The dirt sheets are calling for Enzo and Cass. They're saying that's going to happen. They're saying Enzo and Cass either at Fastlane or before Mania. I'm telling you, Enzo and Cass and Carmella in there, the New Day, would be fantastic.
That's going to be some great television.
I want to see that happen.
But it seems like it's going to be an Usos Dudley's program, which.
Yeah, I don't care. That's fine. They can. Hopefully, that'll be like a SmackDown program.
Yeah, or a main event or Superstars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or not even that. Let's see here. Miz versus. They let AJ Styles talk.
Yeah, he did a fine job.
He did a decent job. He was good on the mic. Didn't stutter. And he beat the Miz with his lame finisher.
I just think the only problem I have with it is he does the bit where he puts his leg behind the other guy's leg and it does the roll.
Yeah.
The roll is too slow. If that roll is fast, it would look really good.
It's plodding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I agree with that. I still don't like it though.
I read somewhere that that's a legitimate MMA submission move.
There's a lot of boring MMA submission moves.
I'm just saying.
Let's see here. Paige, who did Paige piss off? She lost to Summer Rae.
You have been saying for a while that she's a team player, and I think that's what this is.
Really? I don't know. This looked like punishment.
Why would
I don't know. I read some in the dirt sheets about her having heat backstage.
Well, that could be.
I don't know that. I didn't read about that.
Another thing it could be is something for Total Divas next season.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know why they do that now, and then 6 months from now actually play out that backstage drama.
Paige is also one of those people, like in the Divas division, who losses don't matter to her.
Yeah, and
she's always like a perpetual title contender. Like she'd jump in there any moment.
Yeah, and like you said before, she's a team player.
I know, that's my girl. I like her a lot. Shower time with Stephen Page. Let's see here. Heyman comes out and talks to Roman Reigns. I was bored to fucking death.
It was interesting.
It takes a lot for me to be bored by Paul Heyman.
It was interesting that Heyman is talking and everybody's listening, and then Roman comes down and stands and listens, and then once Reigns opens his mouth, the crowd just boos.
I know.
Wow.
Do you feel like it was kind of like in retrospect, was it a mistake to put the belt on him and then take it away? Was it a mistake to just put the belt on him in the first place? I mean, he was strong for like a couple of weeks there with the belt.
And then the Royal Rumble, how they booked him, just ruined it all.
And ever since then, it has been just completely like it's like he's being buried in a weird way.
It really is.
But then we're supposed to believe that he's gonna. I mean, look, this is all us doing our. Let's predict what the WWE is going to do based on their history.
Yeah.
But they have surprised us.
Yes.
Time to time. Seth Rollins cashing in at WrestleMania last year. Big surprise that he had the belt for a long time.
Yeah.
They could be totally prepared for Ambrose to be their champion. Maybe Reigns with the belt was a test run for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
I do kind of feel bad for the guy that potentially 2 WrestleManias in a row, he was going to get his WrestleMania moment, and then, assuming he doesn't get it this year, he won't get it.
It's bizarre to me. They have 28 writers, and all they're having him do is just be, hey, what's going on? It's okay. Yeah, you're going to dirty deeds me? That's okay.
Yeah, I know. And like Ambrose says,
good.
hey, I'm just testing you for WrestleMania, or for FASTLANE. You got to be on your toes. I said FASTLANE, too.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's cool.
That's good. You got me.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
You're like, no, spear the shit out of that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking lunatic, what are you doing? Fucking dirty deeds me. The Dudleys cut a promo, said we don't care what you people. They just cut like a promo saying they're heel, and it's terrible because
them being heels is them just not using tables anymore.
Right, exactly. That's weird.
It's the old Cactus Jack angle from ECW where he turned heel and said, "I'm not going to be hardcore anymore."
I'm not going to be hardcore anymore. And I like that. Like one of the idiot announcers was like, "This is the resurgence.
The resurgence.
No, I didn't even say resurgence. It was something synonymous with rebranding, but it wasn't rebranding. And it was just literally spelling out what had just happened. It's like, okay, we get it. We know what just happened.
Yeah.
Why do you have to tell us what happened? That's the kind of shit that I hate.
Yeah, that's no good.
Let's see here. I like they have main event. I was like, wait, main event? You watched main event?
No, it was the main event.
The main event
was like the main event of main event.
So Big Show versus Braun Strowman. I don't get how I was stunned because I sort of lost track of time because it's Raw. You're just in a black hole of time.
Yeah.
Like you're like Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar. You're at the end when you're in that weird library type 5-6 dimensional thing and time and space is stopped. That's where I was. Whenever you watch Raw, that's what it is because it's like, where am I in the show? I don't really know. When you watch it live and it's 3 hours, you're just like, what time is it now? What time does this end? What time did it start? I don't know. What day is it?
Time seems to slow down.
It does. And so I was so stunned when I saw the copyright burn at the bottom. That
was the end of the show.
That was the end of the show. I was like, wait, that was the main event. Big Show versus Braun Strowman was the main event. And on top of that, Big Show, Kane, and Ryback of all people, they sort of got the better of the Wyatts.
They cleared the ring.
The Wyatts should have destroyed them on the way to Fastlane. They should have murdered them. And now is that what we're gonna get? Are they gonna interfere? Do they even care about Lesnar anymore? Like, is that?
I know. It's like we said this a couple weeks ago that all the stories they set up at Royal Rumble are put those in the back burner. Or maybe those are just accidental stories they put together. And then we're gonna have all these placeholder feuds until WrestleMania. It just boggles the mind.
Yeah.
They should have a match Lesnar against like half the Wyatt family or something at Fastlane. It would have made a lot more sense.
So are they? So I mean, at this point, you're like you said earlier, we can't even take Lesnar versus Triple H at WrestleMania off the table. Because then I guess that would actually kind of make more sense than Reigns going 1-on-1 against Triple H or Ambrose going 1-on-1 against Triple H and Lesnar taking on the Wyatt family, because then the other guy doesn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
So if you have Triple H versus Lesnar, at least then you have Roman Reigns versus Ambrose in a somewhat motivated matchup.
Well, I think if Ambrose were to face Triple H, then a Lesnar Reigns program would be motivated, especially after Heyman's promo.
Okay, yeah.
You could kind of plant the seed. Well, is Heyman going to try to enlist Reigns to be his next guy?
Yeah.
Because there was some allusions to that.
Yeah, okay.
So...
I mean, like you said, we don't know how this is going to play out. So Fastlane could be interesting.
It's interesting and maddening at the same time.
And do they know what they're doing? That's the thing about pro wrestling, though. That's the history of pro wrestling.
I know.
Do they know what they're doing or don't they?
I know.
Yeah. Let's see here. SmackDown results.
We already touched on that.
Yeah. They teased Reigns, Ambrose. Anything? Lesnar came out. Yeah, you already mentioned that stuff. Okay, so fuck SmackDown. Let's see here. Fastlane.
Predictions.
Prediction time.
The pre-show match is Del Rio versus
Are you
Kalisto.
keeping track of who's winning these predictions? Okay.
I just put our initials there so we can write it down, but then it's an email, you can't write it.
Can't write it. I could hit reply and do that, but I'm not going to do
No.
that. All right, let's see here. Del Rio, let us know your predictions in the comments below. Del Rio versus Kalisto, 2 out of 3. Oh, really? This is the match?
Yeah,
2 out of 3 falls?
During the pre-show.
Kalisto wins.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They should. It's the problem with the tag division now. There's too many heel teams. Because I like Del Rio and Rusev together as a team.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I like them a lot.
Yeah.
They would be.
I just realized we don't have Seth and Dusty over here. Next
That's
time
true.
I change the reel, I'll put them up here.
Okay.
They'll
Well,
just appear.
it's gonna be a continuity problem then.
Well, it's okay. There's plenty of those. Let's see here. Del Rio versus Kalisto. Who do you think is going to win?
I guess I'll say Kalisto.
Okay. I mean, if that's the one opportunity for you to separate yourself from me, that might be it. Because
But at the same time, we're not keeping track, so it doesn't matter.
that's true. Wyatts versus Kane, Ryback, and Show.
If the Wyatts don't win, it's gonna.
That'd be weird.
It would
Wyatts.
just be endlessly frustrating.
It's
The Wyatts win.
The Wyatts are going to win. Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch will definitely beat Team Bad. AJ versus Jericho.
AJ is gonna win.
Easily. But it's going to be a good match.
I hope so.
It's going to be a good match. It's the SmackDown match. It's
I know.
SmackDown brand match. Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler.
Owens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they go on to WrestleMania?
No. I'm still hoping.
We've said no for a long time before this. Are they going to keep on fighting? No way.
This is what I'm thinking. It's going to be Owens and AJ at Mania.
Okay. That's good. No, that's good.
Good match.
AJ going on from
The people seem to like AJ.
Okay, I like it.
So
I like that a lot. Let's see here. And then Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler.
okay.
And who gives a fuck match?
I know.
Charlotte versus Brie. I loved.
Oh, we didn't talk about
that
that
segment.
was a great segment.
That was probably my favorite segment of the night. Was Charlotte's fucking exchange with Brie was fantastic. Really well done. I love her as a heel. Her music and the way she struts out there is so much more geared for her being a heel.
Yes.
Because it's pure confidence.
Yep.
And I love that this is just a straight up heel thing. There's no like, oh, you used to be my friend, and all that sort of stuff they usually kind of reserve for the women.
Yeah.
Although they're kind of doing it with Ambrose and Reigns now. I loved her ripping Brie. I thought it was great. I didn't even think Brie. This is one of those things where I'm positive that this was written, that this was scripted.
Charlotte's promo?
Charlotte and Brie.
Oh, okay.
This felt like a scripted thing.
Okay, yeah.
But it was a really well done scripted thing. And this is the kind of thing where when people bitch about, and you see this like with old school wrestlers, when they bitch about the scripted nature of promos. There are ways that it can be done right, and there's ways that it can be done wrong. This is when it was done right. The Roman Reigns debacle from a year ago was incredibly wrong. Mm-hmm. But there are times when it might demand it.
Yeah.
And if it's done strong.
Yeah, I think there's very specific beats that they had to hit.
When Charlotte said goat-faced vegan babies, I fucking lost it. That was fantastic. That was amazing.
Do you think there's a chance Brie wins?
Oh, for the Daniel Bryan thing?
Yeah, and also I guess there's word that she's going to retire come the summer.
Do we see Charlotte going on to face Brie at WrestleMania? You still think it's going to be Sasha, Becky?
No, I still think it's going to be Sasha. I think it's going to be a Sasha-Charlotte match.
Straight up.
But if not that, then it'll be Becky will be a part of it for a three-way dance.
Is there any way Brie wins this?
She might win it and then drop it the next night on Raw or something.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Charlotte wins, Brie rides off into the sunset.
Well, she's not retiring yet. She's going to be around another 6 months or so.
I know, but nobody really wants to see her. She's not a very good wrestler. I don't know. I mean, okay, does that give her a moment for Daniel Bryan to come out and congratulate her?
Yeah, maybe.
That's some star power.
Yeah.
She ain't going to win.
No, probably not.
She's not gonna
We'll say Charlotte.
She got to win already over Charlotte.
I know.
She's going to win again. Give me a break. Let's see here. Ambrose, Reigns, Lesnar.
Fuck if I know. I guess we have to make a prediction. I'll stick to what I've been saying for a while, that it's going to be the double pin thing.
You've gone to the double pin so many times during the course of this podcast.
I'm going to keep going to it until I'm right.
This is the only time And I think maybe because we saw a kind of double pin situation on NXT where it was a double tap out, double submission, that maybe that was a focus group. That was a test market for this. Hey, listen up, everybody. This is my idea.
Nobody wins.
I got to tilt that camera. Bring some of this.
You have to bring this down.
I got to bring it down. Nobody wins, everybody. Either listen. Because it just is like Triple H. He loves Dusty.
Just in case people can't see it, this is Dusty right here.
Dusty Rhodes.
And this is, here's my idea, nobody wins.
Here's my idea, nobody wins. Somebody sent that to us. I forgot who it was. Okay, here. Now we're in the gorilla position area of the show where we talk about rumors, gossip, speculation. No, I wish that we could show. See, this is why we need a daily show. This is why we need a daily going in Raw. Because the day that Titus O'Neal got suspended, we needed to take that tape and analyze it from every angle possible and see exactly where the suspension happened.
I think there's only one angle available, though.
There are two now.
Oh, there's two now. Okay.
There was a second one that hit the dirt sheets a couple days ago.
Okay.
It was this was astounding that it was 90 days, and now it's even 60 days.
Yeah.
This should have been $1,000 fine
and a week off TV.
What the fuck was wrong with Vince? Like, this is what's been wrong with Vince for a very long time.
You know what I think it is? If this had happened after the cameras went off air, after the show went off air, it would have been nothing.
Yeah.
It was just because it was on air.
I don't know, man. Vince is crazy.
Well, yeah.
I had to talk him down from firing the guy, apparently.
I know. Like, your PR superstar.
Yeah.
He does all the PR stuff.
Yeah.
He's great at it.
Yeah.
He seems like a legitimately good guy.
I know. Dad of the year.
Mm-hmm. He just made a mistake, apparently.
He made a mistake. He was just trying to get too little lovey-dovey with the boss.
He was just trying to goof off
Hey, boss. What's going on, boss? What's going on, boss? You're suspended.
And it's like his suspension was on par with like the 60 days, like your second wellness policy violation. I don't understand it.
I don't get it, man. They should have suspended millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. It's a bummer too. He was kind of coming. I'm like, Titus O'Neal's I don't ever think they're really ever going to push him that far. But he's a team player.
I think he could get he'll get a good run with a mid-card belt for sure.
Like, bring back, is the U.S. title still thing? Callisto has it.
Yeah.
He would be a great U.S. champion. Bring back the open challenge for Titus O'Neal.
Yeah.
There you go. We just want that open challenge back. Wade Barrett. I've got some bad news for Wade Barrett fans. Stu Bennett's going home. He's leaving the WWE come this summer when his contract is up.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he could still change his mind. But something tells me people at WWE are like, yeah, it's probably best.
Yeah.
Best for everybody.
Yeah.
This is kind of interesting because not the fact that it's Wade Barrett, because we don't really care about him. I think he's had good moments. He's had good moments in his run.
Yeah, I guess so.
When he debuted on Raw as the leader of Nexus, he was strong. He was booked strong. I really like that. Then they completely fucked it up, and he was buried ever since then. And injuries hurt him also.
Yeah, I think the injuries have really hurt him.
But this is kind of interesting because these days it's funny because everybody says there's no competition in the WWE, and by and large that's true. However, it is entirely possible, and we've seen many examples of it, for wrestlers to have really good careers that they would prefer over the grinding schedule of the WWE and the pay of the WWE, to go out there on the independent level. You look at a guy like Drew Galloway, formerly known as Drew McIntyre. He's killing it in TNA right now.
Yeah.
He was killing it in the UK. He killed it. Maybe he went to Japan. You look at Kenny Omega. He just won the Intercontinental Championship over in New Japan.
Or the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks, who apparently have turned down the WWE several times.
Yeah.
Because they like their schedule. They need to make sure that their family's covered, and doing it in NXT isn't going to do it. Now the WWE's reaching out to people like AJ Styles, giving them a lot of money.
Yeah.
So maybe they're understanding, like, man, we're going to have to start ponying up because these guys can do it on their own.
Well, I think also not only are they ponying up money, they're giving these guys an opportunity to retain the rights to the characters they've created.
Which is a big deal.
Because, all the indie guys that came into NXT, like Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins and those guys, they had to get rid of their indie names.
And
so
then
the
starting
WWE,
starting with Samoa Joe.
Yeah, the WWE had names that they could own and profit off of.
And starting with Samoa Joe, that all changed.
Yeah.
And now AJ Styles, Austin Aries, James Storm, those all guys who cut their name in TNA, so they're already sort of maybe they were too known to be changing their name. But
well, I think that's definitely Samoa Joe for sure.
It makes me wonder, like, what's going to be the situation bringing guys in now? Like even Gargano.
Yeah,
he kept his name, and the other Ciampa kept his name.
Yeah,
people are keeping their names now.
Yeah,
and
well, I think that's smart of them, especially because I know Gargano and Ciampa, they're just on, there's like single day contracts. They just come in and work the day. They're not under NXT contract. So it's good for both parties to do that because NXT gets to capitalize on those guys' name status in the indie scene.
Right.
And those guys with that name get to be on NXT on nationally broadcast television and then profit from that when they go out in the indie scene and say, hey, I've worked on WWE. I've been on national TV. People might know who I am. Pay me more.
Yeah. And that's the kind of thing you could do now, I think in large part thanks to social media, where Wade Barrett for a while now has been, his name on social media is Stu Barrett.
That's his real name.
Stu Bennett, his real name, exactly. So it's like people are savvy enough so that they're going to know your other name. Oh, Drew Galloway's out there? Cool. The guy used to be Drew McIntyre. I like him. So you can do that now. And not worry as much about your name, but it's interesting that WWE is kind of making that a moot point by bringing people in under the names that they've made their name under.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the bigger takeaway from this is guys can leave who feel like they're not being utilized enough, but hey, they've made enough of their name in WWE to go out there and make a really good living, sometimes better than they can. I mean, and they can have off seasons if they want off seasons.
Yeah, they can work the days they want to and not have to deal with the grueling travel schedule.
It's amazing to me that to this point, especially with all the injuries, that they haven't considered off seasons.
I know.
And not even
even off season, just
rotating seasons.
Yeah,
it's like
essentially just schedule it so every wrestler gets 2 or 3 weeks off during the course of the year.
Right, exactly. I'd even say like a month. It's like a week here, every quarter, take a week off.
Yeah.
And then boom, you're good. You know? So
I mean, as Lesnar's reign showed, you can have your champ off TV for protracted periods, and it doesn't completely harm the product.
And on top of that, there's enough depth in the roster. Like, granted, when you're not injury prone like you are now because of these tough schedules. When you have a full roster, you have a lot of depth. And so you can take these guys and leave them off TV for like a month at a time. And when they come back, they seem new, they seem fresh.
Yeah.
If Dolph Ziggler was gone for 2 months and he came back, he'd get a much bigger pop than he's getting right now.
Yeah.
And you might have a chance to reboot him make him interesting.
But also, say they're not on Raws or doing the house shows live, you can say, okay, this guy's going to be off for a month. All right, let's tape some stuff with him.
Right.
We have in the can. We can run, packages with this guy. Showing the Titantron during the show, so this guy is still involved.
Yeah.
There's ways to keep them involved, even though if they're not there physically at the show.
It always interested me that wrestlers would be so adamant. And I know it makes sense. You always want to be on their minds, but in wrestling especially, there's always that element of reboot whenever you're gone for a while and you come back, and there's a freshness to you, and it's like, oh wow, this guy's big again. This guy's back. He's big. So I don't know. The whole idea of you always have to stay on their mind also is, are you outstaying your welcome?
Yeah.
So time for questions.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Ex-Capiz. You guys think Daniel Bryan's still going to be involved in the training, creative, entertainment stuff in the WWE?
I think maybe for a little while that's a possibility, but he also strikes me as the kind of guy who's going to do something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my gut.
No, I agree. He might pop up here and there, but I think by and large he's going to just do his own thing.
And he also seems like the kind of guy who's really smart with his money.
Yeah.
So it's like he probably doesn't need to do jack shit. He can probably just live in his little community or wherever he fucking
just lives in a house in Phoenix.
In his vegan,
according to Total Divas,
his vegan community.
You just can't know. Why shouldn't Dean Ambrose win at Fastlane and go on to win the WWE title at WrestleMania? Just asking, since Vince seems to think we need Roman winning for God knows why.
Everybody assumes that, and I'm not sure that's the case anymore.
Yeah. We spoke about that earlier, that we have no idea what's going to happen.
No idea. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and I'm not even sure the WWE thinks there's anything wrong with that at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that purposely or not, the confusion they've inserted in their last few weeks' shows is only going to benefit them.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Schnaw. Should Jericho rely on his old quick style he can't really deliver on, or should he use a more mat-based style?
Dustin, how can Jericho rely on something he can't do? I think he's going to have to go to his slow, his old man style.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing. He can still hit a lion salt. A lion. What's that called?
Lion salt.
Yeah, lion salt.
Kind of.
He does that though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he still does it.
Yeah, okay.
But
I've always liked the code breaker.
Yeah.
I've always liked the code breaker. Yeah, I mean, he can't be quick anymore. And he doesn't need to be. He's a ring general. He's a psychology guy. He can tell a good story in the ring.
Yeah. Cody Mullins. If you could have one wrestling theme song play when you enter a room, which would you pick?
I mean, half the time Stone Cold's theme plays in my head whenever I walk into a room anyways. These days, I get some Bullet Club theme in my head, too, because that's a good one.
Kevin Owens' theme.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like Paige's theme, too. That's my horny.
Bret Fart. Top 5 wrestling entrance themes. Why did you drink that like it was moonshine or something?
It is moonshine.
No, it's
you know
water.
that? It's moonshine.
If it were
baby.
moonshine, I'd be able to
Been
smell it.
watching Boardwalk Empire. Top 5 wrestling entrance themes. Off the top of my head, top 3, NWO, Jericho, and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with any of those. Macho Man.
No pre-existing ones.
Okay, so not Macho Man.
Pretty much Jim Johnson originals. Or something in WCW.
DDP's WCW theme.
Simply smells like Teen
Okay,
Spirit.
that's pre-existing, I guess. I'm surprised you didn't put Finn Balor's on there because you like Finn Balor's theme a lot.
I do. I like it a lot. I'm not saying it's top 5 though. Top 10
not
maybe.
Top 5.
Could be.
Undertaker's theme.
The Drifter Elias Sampson.
All right.
I talked to the crust punks down on
Carson Street. Right.
Apparently he was at Mario's playing Nickelback. Anyways, what did you say?
Undertaker's.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's iconic.
It is iconic. We need one more. Oh, Goldberg is iconic.
Da-da-da! Manuel Luna. Favorite and worst finishing moves in the WWE. Let's say just existing right now, not all time, because that's...
Okay, favorite and worst finishing moves. Worst, I think we could kind of both agree that it's the coup de grace.
Yeah, Finn Balor's.
Finn Balor's.
Yeah.
Look, I like Finn Balor. I know you don't.
His finishing move is terrible.
It's a terrible finishing move.
I mean, Del Rio does something similar and it's way better.
And it's not even, and even that I hate.
The one he did on Raw was cool because it was like the middle of the ring. He jumped from the turnbuckle.
That's cool.
Kalisto, I think it was. No, Sin Cara.
Let's see. What's the best finishing move right now?
It's not the curb stomp. It's curb stomp because
Styles Clash.
You've done a full 180 on that, huh?
No, I haven't. I'm joking. I don't like that one. Who's got the best finishing move right now? Let's go on. It's Kevin Owens.
His pop-up powerbomb's okay, but the package pile driver is way better.
Way better, but it's not a finishing move. It's a signature.
Well, I mean, it was his finishing move in the Indies.
Yeah.
But they won't let him do that in WWE.
Let's see here. Who else is there? Who's even on the... I've never been a fan of the F5. You just fall.
Yeah.
Like, it's Brock Lesnar. It should be something else. You know what Brock Lesnar's finisher should be? He mounts you and starts pounding the shit out of you. It should be a ground and pound.
That's true.
And you tap out.
Yeah. Who else? Dirty Deeds isn't that great. It's just DDT. Zigzag isn't that good.
The zigzag is kind of impressive, though.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the famous, right?
No. Famous.
Which one's zigzag?
Where he just goes behind someone and throws them down.
Oh, I don't like that one.
Yeah, it's not that great.
Who are other good wrestlers?
Kalisto's finisher is really cool.
Oh, yeah. What's that one called? The something sunset?
Yeah. Something del Sol.
Jarrito del Sol. You know what Jarritos is.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the soda?
Oh, yeah. That's a cool move.
That's a good move.
I'll just say that.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, the RKO. RKO is the best.
No, I hate that move.
No, RKO is the best.
Because it's not even the best version. It's like the worst version of that move. There's like the stunner's the best. The diamond cutter's so slow though.
Exactly.
The diamond cutter's terrible.
It's
so much better in my head. He telegraphed
we always envision
he walks up. The diamond cutter is he walks up to the guy. He walks up to the guy going.
I know, but then he runs in place a little bit and then delivers it. We always imagine
up to the guy like this.
We always imagine he did the diamond cutter like.
I know what you're about to do.
See, because we always think that he did the diamond cutter like Orton does the RKO.
I know,
and he never did.
He walked up to the guy going like this.
Yeah,
like hey, I'm about to. It's like I know what you're gonna do, and then he runs in place.
He runs in place a little bit and then does it. That's why the RKO is better.
Somehow he hits it.
RKO. Never see it coming.
No.
Out of nowhere.
Asuka's arm drag that she like flips over a person and ends up somehow.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I love seeing that. That's like my favorite. I love seeing that.
What about a favorite submission move apart from?
The one where Becky Lynch looks like she's jacking off. How do they let her do that? It obviously looks like it's an erect penis.
Yeah. E. Hobson 617. When Cena is back and making his run for the title record, do you think Triple H will have a title record run as well? No.
I don't think Triple H cares about that. I think he's the kind of guy who cares about the people who need that, who should have that legacy, give them that legacy. He's not that kind of guy.
The only reason he has a title now is because
necessity.
He think it will benefit storyline.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He has a reputation, or on the internet for burying people, and I don't think that's the case now.
I don't think that's the case now. Although the Sting thing last year is kind of interesting, but it's like logically, if you think about it, how can you have Sting win against Triple H?
Well, Sting said that he thought it was going to be his only WWE match. I mean, if my opinion is, if Sting's cool with it, who am I to argue?
Yeah, I know, but still, it's his only match.
No, I know, but people say, well, it tarnishes Sting's legacy.
I'll counter with this: if Scott Hall isn't cool with it, then I run with him, because Scott Hall wasn't cool with that. Do you even have a lawyer, bro? You walking in the door and doing the job? Anyways. All right, Larson, it's time for the greatest wrestling trivia challenge ever. It's time for Kayfabe Corner.
12 names, 6 real, 6 fake. Apparently 3 bonus questions this week.
No, it's 2 bonus questions, but one is worth 2. Yeah, because there's 2. Okay, yeah. I'll get to it. Let's see here.
Is there a theme you want to divulge now or no?
Yeah, no, I'll do it now.
Okay.
We're going to the pioneer days of wrestling. Back when some of it was real and some of it was fake.
Okay.
This is pre-Hackenschmidt. This is pre-Gotch.
Okay.
Okay? This is back when it was simply the American Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
This is good. This is a good idea.
Okay. So these are all old-timey names.
Okay.
From the 1880s, 1890s, and on. Number 1. Ralph Caddock.
Can you spell the last name, please?
Caddock.
Real.
Fake. This is going to be hard.
It is. This is all just luck.
They're all just old-timey names, dude. Abe Coleman.
Fake.
Real. Charlie Eklund.
Real.
Fake. Tom Jenkins.
Real.
Very good. Marco Savoldi.
Real.
Very good. Emil Clank.
Fake?
Real. It's a great name.
That is a very good name.
Farmer Frank.
Fake.
Very good. It's actually Farmer Burns. Spurred this entire thing. Rudy Beal.
Spell Beal.
Beel.
Fake.
Very good. However, there was an Eli Beal. I should have said that because you would have said fake no matter what. This is probably my favorite one on this list. Americus.
Real.
Real. It is real. I couldn't come up with Americus. Americus. Ernest Muldoon.
What number is this?
Number 10. Yeah, this is number 10.
Ernest Muldoon?
Yeah.
Real.
Fake.
Damn.
It's a good name, though.
It is a good name.
Billy Graft.
Real.
Fake. Jack Carleek.
Real.
Very good.
6.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You got to have them. All right. Now, I'll be really surprised if you know this first one.
Okay.
If you know this first one. Now, this title, but these are all the champions of the American Heavyweight Champion, whatever the fucking first one was.
Okay.
Now, obviously, that one directly led into both the NWA and then eventually WCW title, which split off, of course. So, that in mind, the lineage starts, I think, with Farmer Burns. I think. Ends with the current NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And who is that person?
Oh, wow.
Isn't that the kind of thing that we should know? Isn't that the kind of thing that should be much bigger? Isn't that weird?
I know. I knew it still existed.
For a while, they allowed it to be the TNA belt.
Yeah, I know. I remember that when TNA first started.
Mm-hmm.
It was NWA TNA.
Yeah.
Roderick Strong.
Good guess. Jax Dane. He's about our age, too, so I'm not sure if he's going to go anywhere beyond that. Because I looked him up. I was like, has this guy done anything? And in fact, what two former WWE champions, not necessarily heavyweight, intercontinental champions, they were champions at a point.
Yeah.
What two former WWE champs has he faced since his debut in 2012? These are the only two that I could verify that he actually fought. Two guys that we know, two guys that were WWE champions of some sort. Two of them.
So, were they WWF champions before wrestling this guy, or just at any point during their careers?
I'll give you that one. They had been champion. They had been WWE champions of some sort prior to wrestling this guy.
Okay, so prior to 2012.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay.
Opportunity for 2 additional points here. But.
Yeah. I'll say Shelton Benjamin.
No.
Boy, that's tough.
That's a good guess, though.
I'm trying to go through Carlito.
No, another good guess. You were really close with Shelton Benjamin.
Is it Charlie Haas?
Charlie Haas is one of them. The other one, Larson, is because there's nothing finer than Scott Steiner. Those are the only two that I could find. I'll look up. I will look up to see if Shelton Benjamin at any time fought this guy. All right, so we had to come back real quick. You got 7 points.
Yeah.
In fact, he did wrestle Shelton. Did you confirm? It was just a tag match.
It was a tag match, yeah. It looks
so
like.
he did at one point wrestle Shelton Benjamin in a tag match, but I'll give you the point, even though it wasn't really a solo match.
Well, I don't think that was a caveat of the question. It was just what former WWE champions had he wrestled.
Yeah, okay.
You didn't say it in a solo match.
All right, that's fine. If you win by 1 point at the end of the year, though, there's going to be a big asterisk next to it named Jax Dane.
Okay.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.